So after having done surveys here at Langaller Farm in Somerset in November and March, it's now mid-June. And this crop of Miscanthus was cut back in April. This is the new crop now growing up. And it's really interesting to sort of be here really in June. Around the farmhouse itself, there's song thrushes, blackbirds, nesting house sparrows, pied wagtail, and also lots and lots of swallows. There's a goldfinch just singing behind me at the moment, but the actual Miscanthus themselves, as perhaps expected really, seem to be very quiet. Around the outskirts there's lots of grasses here, lots of docks, lots of nettles. But the key thing is there isn't pesticides being used here, so there are insects. And actually on these dock leaves here, there are the larvae of dock leaf beetles. And you can see the little windows here where they've been feeding on the dock leaf. And so these are ideal food for maybe a bird like a chiffchaff, just singing behind me here. Maybe robins, wrens, things like that, which might well come and pick off these dock leaf beetles. But really good to see. So it's just gone 8:30 in the evening, and I've had quite a few chiffchaffs singing, but largely by themselves, the odd wren, dunnock as well. But now there's the chorus of blackbird and several song thrushes, and they just suddenly make an optimistic landscape really, because if you know they're here, then it just feels like there's a lot more kind of bird life here than perhaps originally meets the eye. So here we are at the end of day one. The Miscanthus fields are all behind me with a beautiful sunset, and in the backdrop there are swallows flying around, lambs barring and song thrushes singing. We're going to be up early tomorrow morning, and it's going to be interesting to see what birds are going to be singing first thing at the start of the day. Well, good morning. It's just gone 5 in the morning. The sun is just about to come up above the hills behind us, and there's some lovely bird song all around. I can hear the song thrushes. I can hear more wrens singing this morning compared to last night. So we're at the southern end of Langaller Farm, and there's a real feeling that something's changed compared to other parts of the farm. Here actually we've got quite a nice tall mature hedge line here, and the bird life is richer. There's a chaffinch singing here, there's a garden warbler, and it just shows the value actually of allowing a little bit of woodland hedge line like this going up and out. Also along the Miscanthus here is a really quite nice buffer zone. There's nettles, there's bramble, there's thistles. And yesterday in the sunshine we were seeing meadow brown butterflies. We saw at least 3 large skipper butterflies. And also really, really nice, we had a golden ringed hawker dragonfly.
It's been a wonderful trip around the Miscanthus. How's this last couple of days been for you?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I think just like sort of November and March really, we haven't found a huge amount of bird life actually in the Miscanthus or using it. There have been quite a few wren families around, and they seem to be sort of moving between the hedgerows and the Miscanthus. We've had the odd blackbird, and some of the blackbirds seem to be having territories or singing above the power lines above the Miscanthus. Probably most interesting and delightful really was finding a reed bunting. And Miscanthus kind of replicates kind of almost like reed bed habitats and farmland habitat that reed buntings would use. So really delighted to see that.
And some good insects as well yesterday in invertebrates.
So the southern part of the farm, where there's certainly more mature woodland strips, seem to be better for both the invertebrate life and the bird life.
Yeah, great to see the garden, or not see, hear the garden warbler.
Yeah, definitely. There was garden warbler, willow warbler. There's definitely variety here, but the Miscanthus itself has very, very little in it.
We're going to move on to the willow later on today, and we'll be feeding back on that as well.
So we're now back at the farm at Umberleigh Barton for our first evening survey in the summer. So one of the birds that I'm really delighted to be hearing and seeing a little bit of here at the willow plantation is the willow warbler. And there's at least 3 male willow warblers singing, some along the railway line, but actually there's one right behind me right now actually singing from the willow itself. And the habitat here is brilliant because the willow itself is quite tall. It's providing lots of natural food. There'll be lots of invertebrates in there for the willow warbler. And then all around us here we've got stuff various different plants growing here. There's meadowsweet, there's some of the umbellifers here and the brambles, and it's at the base of these that the willow warblers will actually nest. Now, the willow warbler is a nationally declining species in England. It's increasing in Scotland but declining in England. So I'm really delighted that there's at least 3 territories here on this location. Let's wander along here a bit. Oh, there it goes, just coming out there, look.
It's on the bottom of the
Yeah, it's feeding on the insects,
house.
yeah.
It's buzzing around the top of the
There we are, so that's grey wagtail. So it's got a grey back and a yellow breast. It's day number 2 at Umberleigh Barton Farm, and it's about 5:15 in the morning. And it's amazing how some birds will sing in the afternoon and evening and others will wait to the following morning. So already I'm filling in different gaps of bird territories that I didn't hear yesterday. So we're here for a couple more hours yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what else we pick up along the way. I'm so excited because this part of Umberleigh Barton Farm is just magical. We've got the willow plantation to my right here. To my left we have a railway. And it's just really exciting because actually most of the birds that I'm detecting today and last night are in the willow plantation itself, while others are just on the edge. And I think this complementary herbaceous kind of border with lots of young shrubby type trees are really benefiting the birds that are living here, and the willow plantation is helping as part of that kind of complement.
We've had a lovely couple of days. We've got a wonderful pond behind us with a couple of swans in it. I think you've enjoyed yourself, especially here in the willow, Ed.
Yeah, I have. It's been an absolute delight. I mean, I think for me, you know, this willow plantation, it's part of a mosaic farmland environment, and it kind of replicates those kind of withy beds you would have had on farms, just like you would have had, you know, orchards all across farms. What I think has been really, really special though, which we wouldn't have detected, you know, in some of the other surveys, is the fact that there are, you know, nationally declining farmland birds here: sedge warbler, willow warbler, reed bunting, for example. And we've had, you know, all 3 species here in good numbers, not just 1 or 2 willow warblers, but, you know, half a dozen in a relatively small area here. And I think that just shows you how valuable this willow plantation is, and how actually when it's complemented by a lot of the herbaceous vegetation and the pond and everything else that we've got here, it's really a remarkable place, and I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed surveying it, so thank you.
Well, it's been amazing and a wonderful journey through the seasons, November to March to now June. I've really enjoyed myself, and I very much hope the viewers have too. So thank you very much for watching.